Hello, my friends. My name is Evelyn Joy, and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my friend, teacher Joanne. Welcome, Joanne.
Thanks, Evelyn and Evelyn's fan club.
So, Joanne, you lived in China for 5 years, correct?
Correct.
And you're currently in a country I would love to visit, the country my husband's from, which is Ecuador, right?
Yay, your second home.
So here I am in America, fluent in Spanish. I would love to visit Ecuador. There you are in Ecuador. And if only we could swap places for a day, right?
Well, my Spanish is 20 words, but it gets me by.
That is amazing to me. So when you went to China, did you know any Chinese?
Of course not. I lived in Korea for 10 years and I know just a handful of Korean.
I didn't know you lived in Korea for 10 years. That's wonderful. So I am curious to know, you're also a VIPKID teacher, right?
Maybe.
How long have you worked for VIPKID?
Next month will be 2 years.
2 years. Very good. So tell me, what's going on in China from your perspective as someone that lived there for 5 years and you have friends in China? What would you like to tell me that I don't yet know about what's going on?
Okay, well, I'm only going to repeat things that my friends have heard from VIP. But also my friends have told me, never believe anything you hear from the government. But it's the same all over the world. Nobody knows anything until it happens. They were very surprised that Go-Go Kids closed. They told me some other schools that closed that I never even heard of. And they said 51 Talk is closing at the end of August.
Yep.
And I'm sure I, just like you, are having the kids messaging us and asking us to teach them privately.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they didn't do it yet, they will start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just heard today from my friend who is 11 years old, but it really is my friend. And you know, kids today at 11, they know more than we do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's speaking English for 6 years, and his English is about as fluent as mine. Maybe more. So, Evelyn, what do you specifically want to ask me before I ramble on a whole tangent?
Well, for example, I just know the perspective of American teachers. I don't know what they're saying in China, what they think about all this, what their perspective is, and the gossip from their side. I just know our side of the gossip. I want to know the other side of the gossip. Tell me
Right.
the picture. The other side of the pancake, the other side of the world, what they're saying over there.
Okay. They're getting nervous because they like us. And specifically, they want American teachers. And from what they heard, well, as we know, as VIP, I don't know if they told us, but I ramble. They could finish their contracts. Everything they paid for, they could finish.
Mm-hmm.
If new people, and they're still hiring people, and they're still doing trials.
Yeah.
But the new people who sign up will not get an American teacher, or a Canadian teacher. They will get a Chinese teacher or a teacher from another country.
That's what I thought. Well, I thought it would be Chinese. The thing is, China banned foreign teachers. So I was curious because VIPKID is telling us, oh, you're all still going to have jobs. We're going to pivot and we're going to work in other countries. But I'm wondering if the part of the piece of the puzzle that we're not hearing is that they're hiring Chinese teachers to teach our students.
Yes, that's what they're doing. But we will finish our contracts. And the kids and the parents are concerned that they started with us. And I'm not talking about the kids who just pop in a class. I'm talking about our regular kids. Mm-hmm. Our regular kids want us. They built up a relationship with us. So, go ahead.
Some of our students, their parents speak fine English. So their parents could teach them English from a Chinese perspective, but they want the American teacher with the American accent And so to hire a Chinese teacher for some of them is irrelevant. You know what I mean?
That's right. I have a parent who's pretty new to have this kid for 3 months. You close your eyes, you don't know that he is not from our country.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
said, why am I teaching your daughter? His daughter loves me.
To practice.
And because I sing songs with her and I play games with her. And if I have time after the class is ended, maybe for a minute, I'll play with her tic-tac-toe. I mean, they know us.
We bring them joy. The thing is, the government, part of what they're saying is that they don't want to stress out the students too much and they don't want the parents to have to pay so much and stuff. But I think it has a lot more to do with government control, and they want to be the ones to educate their citizens and not foreigners. And that's what I think.
Well, my friend, who I said is 11, had to stop his Japanese class because they were not even allowed to take Japanese classes. So it's not only us. And it just seems to me that they're making a little ball of themselves. They want to, they want to free their children. The government quote, and I don't want to make stupid quote things with my hands, but the government says they want to ease the burden on the parents. They think the parents not going to have 3 kids to a family. But what's going to happen is these parents now, as I know for a fact, and as you know for a fact, are going to be paying the foreigners who are already in China, because before 2019, some of them, or, when COVID first started, 2020, whatever, they got stuck in China. So they're making more money than I've ever seen in my life. So one parent said to me, Joanne, will you talk to somebody for me? And I said, sure. Who? And I thought they meant a relative, a foreigner who was in China. And they said, Joanne, could you sort of interview this person for me? And that was so not bizarre because I lived in China and I know exactly their mindset.
Explain to me the Chinese mindset.
Well, this is not nice. So very unchristian of me, but I would call them plastic people.
Okay.
Robotic. What person A says, person B will say. So if you get to talk to person C, they have no idea unless they ask person A or B. If they're told what's good for them, they're going to believe it. So,
well, they've been raised to believe that way.
And I'm just saying generally, I'm not saying all people, I'm not putting people into categories, but at this point, they want English. So generally, they're worried. And they're looking to find anybody.
My brother made a very important point today, and I think he's hit the nail on the head, because my brother, see, we're on the side of the internet with the online teaching, right? My brother does cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin and all that stuff. So he's on a different side of the internet than me. But China also just recently, we're seeing what China's doing with education. They're doing more than just that. They're isolating their country in other ways. They have just recently forbidden their country to have outsider cryptocurrency because they want to be able to track what everyone buys. And so they created their own cryptocurrency. And my brother believes they're moving towards a cashless society to where they just buy everything with their phones with the online wallet, and so that the government can track everything they buy, so they know what everybody's doing. And I think they don't want foreign teachers, whether from Japan, whether from America, whether any foreign teachers, they don't want foreign teachers teaching their children. And it's my understanding that even the foreign teachers in China aren't going to be allowed to tutor school curriculum to the students, according to what I read anyway.
Yeah, no one's allowed. A friend of mine has a small little school. I say has. Let's change it to had.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all the
Like,
foreigners that are in China, I mean, they're going to be jobless too. If
well,
teachers.
this friend, oh, I'm interrupting you. This friend is just teaching English and Chinese. There are no foreign teachers. But she said that they are not going to be allowed to teach the kids on weekends, on holidays, and after 9 o'clock. So it's everybody. And of course, she tells me she's not worried because she could teach 1 million kids under the table.
The problem is when you get caught.
Then they pay somebody off. But, I heard, or they heard, that Go-Go Kids was just the example. And
I have to say hi, Tolanda.
I do? Oh, I see it said hi.
Yeah, Tolanda. We have one viewer. She said, "Hey, I caught you live."
She caught you live. Oh, nice.
Talking with my friend Joanne, and Joanne lived in China for 5 years and has worked for VIPKID for 2 years, and we're just learning about how they think. And in China, the thing is, if you look at history of what happened in China, is China used to be more isolated from the rest of the world, and they had a lot of poverty, right? That's when the one-child policy came along and everything like that, because they had so much poverty. And the government opened up a little bit to the rest of the world as far as buying and trading. And so they became a little bit less isolationist while trying to keep a grasp on control. And so China has become very wealthy as far as the companies, as far as jobs, as far as, they went from not having cars to having cars, and, they live in apartments. So they're very populated and everything. But now the government's trying to kind of rein that back in and close up again. And my worry is that it will become impoverished again, because the way that they are making so much income is buying and selling with the rest of the world. There's a reason everything that we own in America says made in China on it.
Yes.
So if they close up that, we will make our own stuff here in America, but what happens to all those jobs in China? What happens to those people? I mean, that may be beneficial for our economy, but it might just very much hurt their economy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And this might sound bizarre, but as I'm saying, I'm only repeating to you what a friend said. A friend said that even though these schools seem to be closing now, the government might decide after 2 months to reopen it and tell the parents that their children had a much needed break. So they might open things up, but slowly. They will never let the kids work past 9 o'clock. The kids are going to junior high school. They finish at 9 o'clock. I mean, it's crazy. But this is just one of the parents, someone was telling me, the government, but like our government too, always wants to look good.
Yeah.
So when they take something away, they will give something back.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too, that the government is saying the reason that we're closing down all of this tutoring industry is because blah, 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 blah. We're so caring and we care about you guys so much and we want you to have lots of children and we're worried about you. So they make it sound like, oh, what a generous, loving, kind government we have. And a lot of people believe them, but I think they have a little bit more selfish intentions behind it. And that's just my belief. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. I don't know, but that's just my thinking,
Yeah, I know, but so you know what? I could read to you what I got, which might it's not going to be very much different than what we heard.
Yeah, read
it. Because of the new policy of VIPKID in China, they cannot hire foreign teachers who are not in China. So which means if you're in China, maybe you can still be hired. So now they are going to divide their customers into two types: those who have used this software, this VIP, before the policy was released, and those who have not. Old customers have to pay within a few days so that they can enjoy foreign teachers from other countries. But those new customers can only choose foreign teachers in China.
Oh, foreign teachers in China. Oh, so they can have foreign teachers that are present in China? Interesting. I thought that it was just Chinese teachers in China from what I had heard.
Well,
fascinating. And
again,
also, another thing that's interesting is VIPKID, and if my channel was bigger, I might get in trouble for this, but my channel's so small. VIPKID is supposed to be done selling packages, and the packages that have already been sold are the ones that we can teach. But what I've been hearing, and what you just confirmed as well, is that they're trying to sell as many as they can in like the next 2 days or so, to be like, oh, those were already purchased, you know, when this came into effect. So they're kind of a little bit doing a little bit of under the table thing. But here is my concern, and here's my thought. If they're focusing, see, I'm gonna talk about something else that happened before I talk about this next thing. Okay. VIPKID, when they lowered our incentive pay, at the same time, they told the parents that they were charging the parents more because they wanted to pay the teachers more. But really what they were doing was they were charging parents more, paying teachers less. But when you look at the exchange rate between American dollar and Chinese dollar, it a little bit made sense that they kind of were telling the truth. They were a little bit fudging on the truth, saying, we want to pay them more. Yeah, they're paying us more Chinese money, but they're not paying us more American money.
Right. Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I have this in my mind, the sneaky way they have of wording things. I have this in my mind while I'm listening to what they're saying. And they're saying to American teachers, we're going to keep giving you bookings. You're still going to keep having bookings. We're just going to expand to other countries, and we're going to keep working, and you're going to, but what they didn't mention is, and your students are going to have new teachers. And so my thing is, they're telling us all of their focus is moving to other countries, when really their focus is dually focused. They want to continue having the students' income, right? So they're going to abide by the new laws, and they're going to have different teachers. And then at the same time, they're going to experiment with the teachers they do have as far as starting something new. But my thing is, I don't see that they have as much incentive to focus on getting bookings for the teachers if they have those bookings with new teachers. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. But what it seems to happen is the kids who paid already have us. They're still selling packages. They're still doing trials. Mm-hmm. None of those kids will have a foreign teacher. Us, because they have a new package.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I'm wondering is these Chinese people, these Chinese customers are hearing that on their new package they're going to have a foreigner in China. What happens when they get to their class and it's a Chinese teacher?
It'll be a foreigner. It could be a Filipino.
Could be a Filipino. That's true. But they might.
No, I'm just
their class that they've paid for, expecting a foreigner.
Right. They have it. The kids who paid already have it.
Yeah.
It's the new ones.
It's the new ones. Yeah. It's interesting. We're going to find out what happens, but I think VIPKID is making some outlandish promises, and we're going to have to wait and see how much of their promises come to fruition. You know what I mean?
I think our bonuses will be taken away.
Oh, because like incentives?
If you read your contract and where it says bonuses, it says this contract could be rewritten at any time, or whatever words it says.
Yeah. Sure. So, well, and one thing, if you just look very closely at their letter that they sent us, at one point in time, they mention in the future, it's going to look different than these one-on-one classes that you're
Yes. Yes.
I'm thinking our pay could be the same, but they could be group classes. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Which I'm fine with teaching group classes. I mean,
Well,
it's a job.
roll with it. Whatever it is, it is. I'm thinking, should I take level 6 back? I got rid of them. I got rid of level 1. I didn't want it, but I think I'm going to get it back
Yeah.
because now I'm going to take anything that I get.
Yes. Have you considered working for different companies?
Well, every day for the past year, I've been considering Cambly.
Okay.
And only I have friends who work for Cambly, and they love it. They're making less money,
Yeah.
but they get calls on their phone,
Yeah.
and they always get paid.
You could, okay, here's the thing. For example, anyone could easily work for Cambly and VIPKID because Cambly is 24 hours.
Right.
So what you could do is make your VIPKID money in the morning, then have Cambly any time of day that you feel like it. Did you know you can just be like, sign up that moment and somebody will call you and you'll make money right then, make $10
Right.
for a 1-hour phone call. And
Right.
it's just and practicing English conversation. I mean, it's extra money, right? So, and you're good at talking on the phone.
Oh, I like talking. And you know what I just did? Your fault. This is a commercial break from your YouTube channel. I put this on my computer keyboard, and now everything is black. My screen is black, and I don't know how to make the.
Oh, you can't see me anymore?
Pardon?
Say that again?
No, I put my phone, because I was reading to you what the kid said, on my laptop. However, I put it, I turned off my camera. You are now very, very suntanned.
You accidentally changed the like setting on
Yes.
how dark it is.
And I don't know how to fix it, but getting back to what we wanted to talk about later on, I'll talk to you on Messenger. You help me fix it.
Yes, at least it didn't change how we see you on the YouTube video. You didn't get all purple or something, right?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care.
I'm curious, Joanne. What was your experience living in China? What was it like when you first arrived? How did you get acclimated? I mean, you had lived in South Korea for 10
Right.
years.
Yeah,
So
not 10 years consecutively. I would go home for 3 months and I would go back for a year, but almost consecutively, I was taking a hiatus from Korea and I went back to the US for a year. Both of my parents were dying. And then I said, I'm going to go to China. I couldn't stand it being back home in the US. I said, I'm going to go to China. So I said, where do I want to live in China? So I looked at the map. I said, oh, no earthquakes here, middle of China, not a big city. And I wrote to like 4 universities. 3 of them answered me. 1 of them spoke perfect English. 2 teachers emailed me back and said a lot of people were my age and I would love the job. So I landed in China. I got picked up from the airport, went to a dinner, and that was it.
And that was the same location you were at for 5 years?
And I was there for 5 years. And I loved it. And I cried when I left. But it was awesome. The people are very different to foreigners than they are to each other. So, and when they were around me,
it depends on where the foreigner's from as well. Because as I've heard, foreigners from America get treated well, but foreigners, like, for example, from South Africa.
Oh, South. But, I was living in a small place, and I was the first foreigner that a lot of these freshmen had. So it was different. And there was a French Canadian guy there who was more French than he was Canadian. He actually taught French there. His English was really bad, but he was also a Western guy. They like Westerners. And when they hear South Africa, they still don't think of Joanne, they don't think of Caucasians in South Africa.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, anyway.
But anyway, and when they meet foreigners with different accents, they can't understand anything that they're saying. They might understand the Chinese teacher and they have no clue what we're saying.
Yeah. So, Joanne, tell me, so where you were working was a smaller town?
Yes.
And you were working in the university?
I was working in the university, and I started a kids' school, I told you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you were teaching little kids. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a phenomenal job. The university paid for an apartment, paid me a salary. I started a kids' school with a Chinese professor. I lived on the kids' money, and I saved every penny I made from the university, and I went on 2 vacations a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but living there was very easy, but I was sort of secluded.
Mm-hmm.
I don't smoke and I don't drink. Doesn't mean I never drink, but I don't go to bars. I don't hang out. I didn't even when I was younger do that. So I was very contented with its university life.
Really quick, my friend Tolanda has a question. She says, how do they treat Black Americans?
Where I live.
VIPKID teachers, or as far as in person? Because VIPKID teachers, for the most part, are very respected. There is an occasional maybe student that doesn't understand because they haven't been around Black people, that they might think something racist, right? They might not understand. I've heard a few situations of that, but for the most part, I believe Black American teachers are respected. Now, Blacks in China, I couldn't speak to because I haven't been to China, but perhaps Joanne is familiar. Did you have any Black American friends in China?
Not at all. And I was in a small town, and the salary was a little bit lower where I was.
You're talking about in person in China.
Right, in person.
I've watched some YouTube videos of Black Americans in China or Black South Africans in China. It depends on the community, but for the most part, they're treated fine. But I think there is maybe a little bit more racism in China, potentially because they don't have as much of a melting pot as we have here in America.
You know, I was dying to say something, but I let you finish talking. Most of the Chinese people where I was living, and I'm not talking about in big cities, have never seen any foreigners, period.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's not that they're Black, white, or green. They're foreigner. They would even see me. And like the older people would go back and I would say hi or ni hao, and they would hide and run away. And I'm a white old lady. So they still were a little bit nervous around me.
Yeah. Unfamiliar territory.
Right. Completely.
I remember I went to Uruguay, South America for 2 months. I went by myself and I stayed with some people that lived there. And I remember one lady, she asked me if I was from like Paraguay, and I took it as a compliment. I was like, oh, my accent must be so good. But really what she was saying was, you sound foreign. Where are you from? And like Paraguay's like the most foreign thing she could possibly think of. She couldn't even think of like America. She had never met foreigners like me, you know? So it's interesting.
How funny. But where I lived, the people just liked each other. It was a little bit different than my friends who lived in Shanghai or Beijing, where people were very standoffish.
Yes.
So I just had a very friendly experience. You know, the only problem that I found, of course, they wanted to do everything for me. They wanted to carry my bags. The kids wanted to mark my lessons. They didn't want me to do anything. They wanted to cook for me, take me shopping. but they wanted me.
Like, with your personality, you wouldn't want people carrying your things for you.
I hate it. I punched someone in the face one day, but I didn't really intend to. I didn't really intend to.
Won't take it.
I had the kids and they wanted to carry my bags. And I said, no, I can do it. But you, professor, you're a teacher. And I said, if I want your help, I'll ask you for it. And someone came behind me to take away a bag. And I went,
You said a bad word.
Hello, my name is Joanne. Bad words are second nature to me. But I'm a New Yorker. And if someone's going to tap me on the back or take my bags, after I was there for 3 years, I got used to them. Yeah. But they would put themselves last. One of the Chinese professors was very, very ill and was grading papers. And I said, I'll help you. No. Maybe she had 103. I'll help you. No. And you can't. And then, this you'll find very interesting. A few days.
I come across this with my mother-in-law too. My mother-in-law is from Ecuador. And so she always comes over and starts cleaning my house. And my perspective from my culture is I should clean my house and have it all perfect before my mother-in-law even comes over. So her just coming over unannounced and cleaning my house for me is very, very difficult and embarrassing, and I feel like really bad. But it's just clash of cultures, totally different cultures. She's just expressing love by cleaning my house for me and showing me that. But it's just, for me, it's very hard to take. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know. Go ahead. I lost my train of thought.
Look who's in the chat box.
Huh?
Look who's in the chat box. Cindy Bennett.
Of course, Cindy's. Hola, Cindy. I don't see. I just said Joanne. Oh, hey, everyone.
Yeah. Fun fact, Cindy Bennett is our mutual friend. So what had happened was Cindy and Joanne met first, and we were both friends with Cindy. And so we got to talking to each other from that. Cindy actually interviewed you on her YouTube channel, and I was like, there's a VIPKID teacher in Ecuador. My husband's from Ecuador, and so I wanted to talk to you, and we added each other as friends, and that was like over 6 months ago, I think. So she said, hola. Hola.
Yeah, longer than that. I think I'm more of a lurker. I told you, I'm part of your fan club. So, children are not my thing, except if I'm teaching them. And yet I look at your kids. Oh, look, Esther made a picture for mommy. And I went, God, Joanne, you don't care what Esther does. And I go, oh, look, Joshie read a book. And I said, Joanne, go away from Josh. He read a book. It's funny how, as teachers, we wind up getting involved in each other's lives by osmosis, or because we have this common thread.
Yes. Cindy Bennett says, yay, I love both you guys.
Yeah, because she only wants views for her channel. That's why.
That's not true at all.
No, it's not true.
If she cared about that, she might have quit YouTube a long time ago, because YouTube is slow going as far as the subscribers go.
I know, and I've never once looked at TikTok.
Oh, yeah?
I've never once looked at TikTok.
Well, TikTok is powered by Tencent, and Tencent also owned VIPKID.
Right.
So, yeah, little fun fact about that.
I know. Who knows? I mean, if I hear, which of course I'm going to hear, any more information from the parents, I mean, I'm certainly going to tell you. And
yeah,
nothing else. He says he could finish the rest of his classes, but.
Well, I was curious what VIPKID's telling the teachers, because you know how they were with the money. They're telling the parents, we have to charge more because we want to pay our teachers more. They're telling the teachers, we have to pay you less unless you work in exorbitant. But then when you look at the exchange rate between the American dollar and the Chinese dollar, it makes a little bit more sense. But 99.9% of the teachers aren't going to think of that, right? They're not going to think of the exchange rate. And it took me a little while to think of it myself. But yeah, it makes sense a little bit.
I know. And just tell everybody, who's listening to you or not, open up nights, because I'm getting short notices now and I've never gotten them before.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm teaching 3 classes every morning and 1 class every evening, just because with 4 kids it's hard. And I'm teaching Outschool classes some during the day. So I go back and forth because I have, you know, a lot with my 4 kids. They need me, so I have to get some sleep at night and try to balance everything. But yeah.
Of course. Oh, and another thing that my little friend told me was that August, the next 2 weeks, might be very, very busy because parents want to use up all of their classes that they paid for, because in September, they might not be able to use them as freely as they are now. You know, they still can use up their contract, what they paid for.
Okay.
Oh, he's also said some parents wanted their money back.
Oh, I believe it. Oh, yeah. If I was in China and China was passing these laws, I would be like, give me my money back, because y'all are going to close and not give me my money, right? I would not trust it at all. And I mean, I hope GoGoKid paid all the parents, all the classes they paid for. I assume.
I know. I would guess so.
Yeah.
I would assume, but it was just mind-blowing that they closed in one day. Teachers opened up their classrooms and,
in my opinion, it was unprofessional, and it showed how much they care about their teachers, right? About like zero. Because they were like, oh, we have to do this. Okay, we're closing today. Okay, just notify everybody at the same time. But you know, even Magic Ears and Palfish, all these different companies, the Chinese employees, when they got to work, they told them, pack up your things, today's your last day. So it's not just that Americans are getting treated this way. Chinese employees are getting treated this way as well. But it's
right.
it's first of all, it's because of the laws that were passed. But second of all, it has to do with how the leadership wants to handle it from there, right? So they can choose whether they want to give a fair warning or whether they want to close down that day. You know what I mean? And it's a shame that some of them. Yep, that's what I figured about August. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking too. So whereas VIPKID is saying to us several more months, it's kind of like earlier in their last letter, they said, oh, it could take months or years to come into effect. I think they themselves knew that they were lying when they said or years, that they were fudging on the truth. They knew it was months.
But
And then now it's weeks.
who knows? This kid has 32 classes left. Okay, with a foreign teacher. And if kids have bought, they buy a package for 6 months usually.
Yeah.
So if a kid bought a package last month, they have 5 months left. And VIPKID is going to be teaching adults.
Yeah. But adults in China?
What I heard, if you're over 18, they can't tell you what to do.
Yeah, the bans aren't affecting that.
Right.
But the question is, how much does an adult value those classes? Do they value it at the same level as they do for children?
Who knows? Maybe the adult will take the class, record it, and then teach it to their kids.
Oh my goodness. Cindy Bennett said that her last class for VIPKID, she had to cancel, so she owes them $2. I'm not paying. Don't pay it.
Oh, how
did you your check with the other stuff, and they'll subtract out the $2. If you have a negative $2 paycheck, I'm not paying. I'm not. Too bad you fired me. Take your $2.
Did you see Cindy's video this morning? I almost cried. She posted a kid saying goodbye.
But that video, she shared it. That video was from a year ago. It was a kid saying goodbye.
Oh,
students last time. Yeah. But some of those same emotions are coming back up. At least that's how I felt. To be honest with you, what happened to me was a year ago, VIPKID put me under review, right? So because of a parent complaint that I looked tired, and I was very tired. I had a baby at the time that wasn't sleeping. And so I was very tired teaching my classes, and I was sick as well teaching the class. And so a parent complained that I looked tired. And so I went under review. So I was blocked from opening bookings. So that is when I stopped trusting the company. So it was 1 year ago. So I am not so surprised or disappointed. I already have been working for Outschool for a year. So I've been 50% with Outschool, 50% with VIPKID, because VIPKID lost my trust when they just did that. You know what I mean? That a parent can complain and then you can't open bookings. I'm like, really? Really? Okay.
Oh, I know. I worked there. I taught kids. And if a kid complained about us, we were admonished like crazy. I had one kid who used to actually punch. Well, the kids were 4, 5, 6, up to 11. And I had this one 6-year-old kid who was constantly punching and beating up the other kids. And we were told, we should make him happy. We should make him comfortable. He should apologize. And we should just say, I'm sorry. And all the other kids were supposed to say, okay. And one day he came to class with the imprint of a shoe on his face. The father used to beat him. But the parents would tell us, if the kids don't listen to us, just hit them.
Oh, is that what they do in China?
I can't say all over. And there was a law passed, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, something like that, where the teachers were not allowed to hit the kids.
Oh, that's interesting. But I have a question. Okay, so in China, I'm under the impression that China doesn't have a foster care system. Is that correct?
Oh, of course not. They don't even adopt each other. The children will not even be adopted by other Chinese because they can't, because of the bloodlines.
Yeah, because, for example, if a parent is abusive, it's my understanding that that's just their family business. It's not like a thing that someone will take the child away because they're being abused or something like that, right?
Well, I had a friend who got divorced. The husband got custody of the kid because he was a man, and he used to beat her to a pulp. But she never once complained to any authority, nor her friends. But she would talk to me because I didn't speak Chinese. And she could tell me things and not share them with the other friends. But what happens in one family generally is not shared, unless, of course, it's my child is better than your child.
Then it's shared. And test scores and all of that is just very important in China, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, the kids will say, I got a bad grade. What did you get? 96.
A- is an F in China. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have had students come to class very depressed, and it's like, why are you so sad? Well, teacher, I had this really hard test. And well, actually I had like 5 tests, and on 2 of the tests I got a B. So I'm really sad because, I did really bad on my tests. I'm like, okay, well, I like getting B's.
Yeah. And
Not well in China.
I know. And I love these kids. You know, most of them, or half of them, or sometimes, but you look at them
Most
and
of them, or half of them, or sometimes. Joanne, you're so funny.
I'm sorry.
You're good. I love your personality because you're brutally honest. You're just a New Yorker. It's just in
I
your
know that's bad.
That's all right. I like most of them, or some of the time.
But we all have that. We all have that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I would like to say something, and this is my understanding having never lived in China, right? So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my understanding that in the past, the country was very impoverished. And so they made the one child policy. So the importance of that one child became even more important, right? And then that one child is expected to support the parents.
Yes.
And so the reason our parents in China are willing to pay 1/4 of their income in some cases in order to 1/4 of their income in some cases in order to help their child learn English, help their child pass tests or whatever, it's because they look at it as a retirement plan. I spend my money on this kid now, and in my old age, he's going to be a doctor and he's going to pay for and take care of me, right?
That's right.
That's the culture, that's the perspective. And so that makes sense in a way. And also, parents, from what I've heard from YouTubers that have lived in China, that parents can sue their children if their children aren't taking care of them or aren't talking to them too. I've heard of that. But yeah.
Well, suing anybody in China. I mean, I have a friend, an ex-student, a university student, who's a judge. Never went to law school, but they took the civil service examination and said, oh, yeah, you could be a judge. Can't be a lawyer, but he's a judge.
Okay.
Because he passed the civil service exam.
Wow. He couldn't be a lawyer, but he can be a judge?
Right. Because he has to go to law school to be the lawyer. But the judge is a civil service job, and the judges get paid lower than the lawyers do.
Wow, that's so different from America, don't you think?
But the judges will always get paid. The lawyer might not get paid.
Oh, good point. Good point.
You know, but I do adore the Chinese people. I just love them. Generally, the people are too trusting. And I'm not talking about government. We're talking about people in general. They will believe anything that you tell them. But they're so harsh on their children. And we can see it when we teach. We've all seen a parent behind yelling at their kid. We've all seen a parent answering for the kid because the parents, a lot of them, some of them, they're interested, as you said, with the high scores. They don't care about knowledge. And the Chinese, they could remember anything. I don't know how they could remember 50 vocabulary.
We see that in America as well, unfortunately, in public schools with testing. Teachers will have so much emphasis on passing state exams just to prove that they're teaching the students well enough that they'll just teach to the test instead of actually having lasting knowledge. It's just like regurgitate what you memorized, and then who cares if you remember it in the summertime or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. America has its issues with education as well. I'd like to read Cindy Bennett's comment. Cindy Bennett says, they also spend money when they are young because they believe the younger years are most important. And Cindy said, Chinese kids seem to accept being grown up even while they are so young. Well, it's interesting because our Chinese students, they are so responsible in some ways, but it's just a very different culture. For example, you'll see in a pretty old student, like 8 or 9 years old, being spoon-fed by their grandmother during class. And it's just, from my understanding, it's that grandparents showing care to the child. And my mother-in-law is from Ecuador. She spoon feeds my kids, and my kids know how to feed themselves at 1 year old. I'm like, okay. She thinks it's wrong that I'm not spoon feeding them. I think it's different that she spoon feeds them, but it helps me understand other cultures more. It's a way of showing care. And in Chinese, a little thing to understand their culture more. In English, we say, how are you? In Chinese, they say, have you eaten? Why? Right. Because years ago, starvation was a really real thing. And so to show care about how are you, you ask, have you eaten? But just like in English, how we say, I'm fine, even if you're not fine. Even if you haven't eaten, you will say that you have eaten because it's just
That's right.
It's just a formality. It's not a
Right,
really, I'm not really concerned if you're fine or not. I'm not really concerned if you ate or not. I'm just showing you that I care, right?
right.
I
You know,
feel
how are you? Do you really want to know? Yeah, but
exactly.
then again, Koreans are the same like the Chinese. And I
Interesting.
don't know about Japanese at all. They're more reserved from the few Japanese people I've met, but the Koreans are very similar
In
to
some way.
but Korea is a lot more advanced than China.
Okay.
So China is now like Korea was.
Meredith Armstead is watching. Hello, Meredith. So yeah,
Well,
we
you have a couple of fans.
yeah. Well, we have 8 people watching, and 3 of them have commented in the chat box. So I can say hello to Yolanda, hello Cindy, and hello Meredith. So yeah.
How nice. I
I
just say
kept
hello.
I kept your quote at the bottom that the next 2 weeks will be very busy with bookings, but September may drop off. I just left that quote at the bottom so that if any VIPKid teachers come in late or whatever, they might see that quote. It might be something that helps them prepare for what is to come. They might open more bookings during August and have some backup plans set for. Oh, is Dani here as well? And Brittany is here. Hello, Brittany. Welcome.
Well, what I found out, this was in one of the Ecuador teaching groups, and they said
Yeah.
this person said she was teaching at Outschool, and I had asked Outschool, and they had said no because I was not living in the country. And this girl, she had said, as long as we had a United States an address,
An
a
address.
Canadian address, we could teach for Outschool.
Okay.
I'd read that. I have no idea. So if anybody is listening here from another country,
Well, my understanding from Outschool is that you have to be able to have a background check run in America saying that you're not a criminal or something like that, or Canada. So from what I read, you were supposed to be living in America, but it's possible that if you just give them, for example, a family member's address that's in America, I mean, you could get hired. I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know. I know nothing about anything other than VIP kid and about these people who are messaging me saying, "Could you teach my kid privately?"
That's another question is uh should VIPKid teachers once VIPKid is done teaching Chinese students, should VIPKid teachers teach Chinese students privately? What is your opinion on that?
My opinion is don't you dare try it because everything is, the government is like
Tracking.
big brother.
Big brother, yeah.
And well, look, Facebook is our big brother too, but they would have to get you money somehow. So they would have to transfer money somehow. So who knows if the bank or Western Union or whatever will report something. This person is wiring money to the United States. So I would say don't do it. You won't get in trouble, but they might get in trouble.
I appreciate hearing you say that because I have watched a couple of YouTube videos and seen a couple of Facebook comments where people have said, and Cindy Bennett agrees with you. She says good advice. Where people have said, oh, now that the companies aren't teaching our students are really going to want you to teach them one-on-one. And so you should start your own business and you should do this and that. And my thought is, if China doesn't want foreigners teaching their Chinese citizens, then foreigners should not teach Chinese citizens. And starting your own business, it may not be worth the cost. You know what I mean? You can definitely start your own business, teach people in South Korea, Vietnam, all over the world. But I think China is not going to be happy with you trying to create your own little loophole. You know what I mean? That's just when I hear people giving that kind of advice, I kind of go, ooh, I think that when all of these Chinese companies are not allowed to hire foreigners, foreigners should not try to
No.
enforce themselves, you know.
And for us, if we do it, there's a paper trail. Now, I've done work under the table, as we all have, but the internet we all have, but the internet is still a business. And if we get money from somebody from China, are you going to claim that to the IRS? They want to look at your bank statement, maybe. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I say, and also, sorry to interrupt you, because I just thought of it, Chinese people will get money if they rat somebody out. Should we censor this comment?
No, I mean, that's its own business. I mean, everybody's hustling and some people are hustling to rat each other out. I mean,
so if I'm teaching someone's kid and that parent wants me to teach that kid, but I don't want to work for $5 an hour, maybe they'll report that person. That person might be paying me $20 or whatever.
I think kind of like how we don't think that people should come to this country and work without documentation, the same way we should not be breaking the laws of other countries, is my 2 cents about that. You know what I mean? If I think that people should be honest here, I should be honest there. Like I should live by my own standards for other people. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know, this makes me look at a lot of things in my life about stealing and about honesty. Or do I want to take 10 sweet and low packages because I don't want to buy sweet and low? I mean, we've all done it.
Law. My mom was very frugal with those kinds of things, and we never bought bottles of ketchup. We always had Ziploc bags of ketchup packets, and we never bought paper towels. We always had lots of napkins.
Napkins in the car, too many napkins in the car, but they're on my table. They're going to get thrown out anyway. I might as well take them. That's okay.
My mom saved a bag of used napkins for picking up like cat poop and stuff. She saved the used napkins that she never even paid for those napkins. My brother and I, as soon as we became adults, we buy our own paper towels, and we're like, I will never save used napkins in my life.
I know.
Never again. But then why I'll be like that when I'm a little older.
I know. But we should all go back to saving money, not like that. I know my mother cut the envelopes up in half and we turned the insides out, and that was our scrap paper.
There you go. The thing is, sometimes we get embarrassed by some of those things that our parents did to save money. But the thing is, when we get in that financial situation, we'll do it too. You know what I mean?
I know. But, with this job, we're all scared, but whatever.
Yeah.
Make a garden. There's things that we can do. I'm sure your family is a lot healthier now since you made the garden.
Mm-hmm. I want to read Meredith Armstead's comment. She says, we've seen the good side of China with the kids and teaching it. It could be a scary thing to go against the government. Not that they will come and get you, but just don't want to go there.
They'll come and get you if you're Chinese. Trust me, you can't.
Well, but yeah,
not 100%, but more than 50.
To be honest with you, I've worked for VIPKID 3.5 years. Okay, I feel like this 3.5 years has been a miracle, because at the same time that I, a Christian from America, am teaching kids in China, the same time there are pastors and Christians in China being thrown in jail and having their churches torn down. And so it's like, this is just a miracle going on that I'm even able to make friendships with kids in China. Obviously, we're not talking about anything religious, but they are seeing that I, an American, am a human being and that we can have this friendship with each other. I think another side note is it's a lot harder to hate someone that you've met, that you have built a relationship with. It's a lot harder to convince citizens that a whole nation is a bunch of evil people that don't care about them when they have a personal relationship with those people. So distancing themselves from us is going to be an easier way to convince their citizens not to like us anymore. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's in the future for them or not, but who knows?
I was rewatching a video because I was doing an assessment and I wanted to give this kid more points if I could. And the kid was sneezing and he was really sick. And I kept on saying, "Are you sure you're okay?" I think I said, "God bless you," about 35 times. I mean, every minute the kid said, I said, "God bless you." And he would say, "Thank you." And I would say, and I'm saying, I could get in trouble for saying God bless you to a kid. It was just funny, because we don't realize what we say a lot of times.
Yeah.
Now I'm really worried about doing assessment.
Bennett says, I agree. It's been a miracle. You don't know this is a permanent either. You can still pray for this to change back. Yeah. I feel like everything happens for a reason and God can work it together for good, and who knows what's on the horizon, but we have been a part of a miracle. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that they would allow me to teach their precious children in China.
It is amazing. But a lot of times they don't care if we're teaching the kids. They just want to say they're paying for English lessons. Forgive me, but I've learned so much about myself from the 2 years that I've been teaching for VIPKID. And then I've met a handful of people, you, Cindy, just different people who I never would have had a glimpse into their lives, and they never would have had a glimpse into mine. And it's such a benefit getting to meet other people. And these kids, we've touched their lives no matter what. We've all grown. And I look at myself and wow, my heart is breaking for the teachers who need this as their income. Yeah. The single mother, someone who needs it to survive. Me, I could live without it. I mean, I love it. I want it.
I can hear that for you. Yeah.
I could use it. it. Do I need it? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah.
But I could survive without it.
Yeah.
My future is fixed. I know where I'm living. Well, sort of, maybe not really, but I have a place to go to in America. It's being built out. I'll have a house there, blah, blah. But the point is, I'm going to be 69. I am not 28 or a 35-year-old single mother with 2 kids or 3 kids who needs this job to put food on their table.
Yeah. This has been a huge blessing to me. Before I started working for VIPKID, we were behind on our mortgage, and now we have our house paid off. And so it's just amazing to be to the point where no bank can say to me, you haven't made a payment, therefore you no longer have a roof over your kids' heads. Because my first and foremost goal is to keep a roof over my kids' heads and keep their mouths fed. And so it's been amazing to me to be able to be home with my kids and earn an income.
Right.
Because if I sent all 4 of my kids to daycare and I worked for minimum wage, I would have so much negative money per paycheck.
Right.
And also someone else would be teaching my kids, and I'm a teacher. I can teach my kids,
Right.
I want to be a part of their education. So it's been amazing, and it's helped a lot with the loneliness of being a stay-at-home mom. It's been awesome to make friends online with other teachers, but also make friends with kids in China, and I love culture, you know. I'm fluent in Spanish. My husband's from Ecuador. I spent 2 months
Stop bragging, Evelyn. Stop bragging. Stop bragging.
No, you stop bragging with your 10 years in South Korea, 5 years in China. I am jealous of you. Stop.
You told me I can't put a trailer on your property and live with you. You told me no.
There's no room. But yeah, I feel like it's helped a lot with, because I remember when I was a stay-at-home mom, pregnant with my second, and I had one little baby girl, and my husband and I shared a car, and I had no internet job. I had no friends. I was just home with a baby, pregnant with another baby, making no money, just depressed. And so it's so awesome to just be empowered to earn a paycheck while staying home with my kids, while getting to have the money to take my kids to the zoo, you know, or the museum, and do fun things, and have the money for groceries, for goodness sakes, you know, and just being able to pay stuff. And so that's why on my YouTube channel, I have been interviewing person after person after person after person. This week has been booked full, interviewing people that work for companies outside of China, because I want VIPKID teachers and Go Kid teachers and Magic Ears teachers and Palfish teachers, all those teachers, I want them to know there's a lot of job opportunities still online that aren't connected to China. And so I'm trying to let all those people know, all those people that you and I are concerned about, rather than just wallowing in self-pity and, oh, woe is me, what should we do? We need to get to pivoting and finding those jobs that can pay those bills. Am I right?
Yeah.
So yes, go ahead.
No, you're right. There's nothing I could say. You know, VIP has told the parents in China that they're not VIP is not core classes. These are extracurricular activities. So maybe they'll just get rid of the assessments. Maybe they will just make all classes fun, like story time, which to me is boring as anything. But these are not core classes. But they're still fun.
That's what they were saying in their second to last letter. But their most recent letter, they said that they've discovered that we can no longer teach in China, we the foreigners, but that they're going to try to come up with curriculums for us. But what they didn't include is that they're going to continue teaching our students with teachers there in China. That wasn't convenient to put in their letter.
Oh, like Lingo Bus?
What?
Lingo Bus?
Oh, do they still do? Are they going to keep doing? Yeah, they'll teach us Chinese.
Yeah, you know, I just thought about that just a second.
Lingo Bus teachers, use them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because some mothers have their kids learning Chinese. Whoa.
Rebecca F says, I am so grateful for the chance to teach kids across the world. I never thought it would have been possible 10 years ago. Very true. Sorry. Tolanda says, I actually just left the workforce to do this for my special needs child, and now this, but I have hope. I have started my own business, and I am working on contracts. That is awesome. Tolanda, there are a lot of job opportunities, and I'm sharing them all on my channel. I'm making a whole playlist of interviewing people. There are a lot of companies that you can try to work for. And Tolanda, I saw, I would have to scroll up to find it, but you mentioned that you couldn't get bookings on Outschool. I would encourage you to keep posting different types of classes. If one doesn't stick, try another one. The times that are booking the most right now are Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Adjust to your time zone and teach. For example, I teach Spanish. I also started a gardening class. I also started a drawing class. If one thing doesn't stick, try something different. So don't give up on Outschool. There are lots of opportunities. And our students are coming back to school. A lot of homeschool parents are looking at starting in September, taking more classes. So keep posting classes, keep trying, right? The problem is the no foreigner teacher rule. Exactly. That's the problem. Real quick, I'm going to get caught up on these comments. Rebecca says VIPKID might be able to keep the materials, but can't keep the foreign teachers. Exactly. But they don't want to see that in their, Why?
But they can have foreign teachers, Evelyn. They just can't have Westerners.
Oh, interesting. They can have foreign teachers, just not Westerners.
They could have, I told you, Filipinos. They can have people from Singapore. Go ahead.
The problem is Filipinos, like from the Philippines, there are companies like that, that the Chinese people will pay much, much less for a teacher from the Philippines to teach English. They are not going to be paying. If it's a teacher from the Philippines, they will not pay the money that they would pay for an American teacher, because the accent, they want the, the reason we were hired was for our accent, for real. Because they want to speak like a Westerner. They don't want to speak like Filipinos, you know?
Right.
So it's interesting. But yeah. Well, we've been talking for an hour and 10 minutes. I'm not surprised, Joanne.
Because we like to talk, Evelyn. That's why.
You and me, we are talkers. We are talkers. We can do this 10 more times this week.
I know, but I hope I said something interesting.
Yes. I think what I've got at the bottom of the screen is the main thing we need to pay attention to is that the next 2 weeks will be very busy bookings. But starting September, those bookings may drop off a lot. And the reason for that, for those that weren't here when you said that quote, the reason for that is that a lot of these students that have bought packages, they might be cramming all their classes in because they do not trust that in September they're going to keep being able to have classes with us. So we will see what happens. That date, September 1st, has been thrown out there a lot. And I don't know if that's going to be a significant date or not, but it's something that keeps coming up in conversation.
Well, I'll keep on passing you on information as I get it.
Yes, that would be great. My YouTube channel has become a news network.
Right, it does. So I could be on volunteer staff at this point.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much. If you are watching this video, please feel free to give a thumbs up. If you are watching the playback, talk to us in the comments. Tell us what is up. I'm sure there will be people who will tell us that they disagree with some of the opinions that we have shared in this video, and you are entitled to your opinion as well. If we have said anything that has offended anyone when talking about our opinions of China, we apologize. We are not perfect. We are not without flaws. And one person's opinion might be another person's insult, but we did not aim to insult anyone in this video. But thank you so much, and thanks for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, I put a very lofty goal of reaching 2,000 subscribers by December 31st. Will I reach it? Probably not, but hey, it's worth a try, right?
Well, if I find any of my email passwords, I'll subscribe under all of them.
Oh, wonderful. I need to help you with that. All right. Thank you so much. Yolanda says, thank you, ladies. This was great. I really enjoyed it. And I wish the best of luck to you, Yolanda. All right. Thank you so much, Joanne.
Okay, bye.
Ecuador for me. All right.
Yeah.
Can I see a glimpse out your window? Do you have any Ecuador?
Not really, but I could take you outside.
I say goodbye, and then I say, take me outside.
So what? I'll take you outside.
I take you to this. This is the world.
It happens to be a nice day.
Yes. You sometimes see, oh, beautiful. You have a little garden going.
Yeah, but it's all full of weeds. They have to come and cut the weeds. They're going to do it Monday. And that's an avocado tree.
That's an avocado tree. Ooh. Yeah. Have you eaten any avocados off your tree?
Yeah, they take a whole month to get ripe when they come off. See?
Yeah. Beautiful.
And it's beautiful. You know, we see nothing but a little house.
I love it.
Yeah. That's it. Now I have classes tonight and I have to figure out how to brighten up my screen again.
Oh, well, wherever you set your phone, there's probably a couple of buttons that maybe moves over and it can brighten and lighten.
I don't know. Everything's in Spanish. But anyway,
Evelyn, well, I can tell you, oscuro is dark and claro is
yeah. But it's a Spanish keyboard and it's all different. But I love you, Evelyn, and thank you for.
Thank you, Joanne. All right, talk to you later. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Ah.